You know, y'all have a baby, about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, you and your partner maybe have sex a handful of times.
You better tighten up on your married life, Jay.
So with that being said, when is it okay? When is it okay for the man
to cheat?
To step outside of the relationship and have relations with?
When you say a handful of times,
like
you mean,
five,
yeah, okay,
like 5-6 times.
What kind of shit is that?
You said that when is the right time to step out of this relationship? Hold on.
Say that. To ask her.
No, so you mean to tell me when is the right time to ask your woman that to step out of your own personal integrity and to sacrifice your own morality for another thing of... That's what we talking about?
Yes!
Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. How did you just try to minimize like that?
No.
Sexual desire.
Y'all are acting like it's not important, though. I'm just saying, at least.
Okay, let it cook, let it cook.
No, we're not saying that not important, but you are not about to sit here and come and ask your woman because she does not have the ability to give you all of that, considering whatever circumstances, that you should be able to step outside of your personal integrity and morality for some...
So, I get it.
You said let's switch the question. Okay. Let's really switch that. What if he only paid bills a handful of times in a month and in a year and a half? Would you expect her to stay?
Hell no.
Y'all know Ace got them card games on sale over there.
Okay, so the women that get cheated on the most, in my opinion, are the ones who think that sex is not that important. You're trying to belittle his issue, but when it's your issue, you want it to be as big as you make it. You can't sleep on the sex for a man. Why she try to make it like sex is not important to a man? That's rule number one. If you try to make that like it's not important, I can guarantee you'll get cheated on. Period, point blank. She was so adamant about what she was about to say, but then when all the men was like, yeah, this is exactly what we're talking about. Yeah. Then you want to pull back. No, it is what it is. Stop trying to make it like sex is not important. Sex is a major component when it comes to marriage. And I get it. It's not the whole thing. Just like finances ain't the whole thing. It take the whole shit. You see what I'm saying? It take the finances. It take the sex. It takes the emotional connection. It take all of that shit. And the same way you want him to be sensitive to your needs is the same way you gotta be sensitive to his. That's just what it is. Next clip.
Something that really confuses me is every time I talk to married women without fail, 90% of them are like, don't get married, don't do it. And I'm like, oh, okay. They're like, seriously, stay single like you are, don't get married, I don't recommend. And I'm like, oh, like, are you not happy? They're like, no, I love my husband. Like, I would die without my husband, but don't get married. I'm like, do you not? And they're like, no, my husband's my favorite person on this planet Earth, but like, don't get married. And I'm like, blink twice if you need help, like, are we gatekeeping marriage? You're confusing me.
Marriage is not the problem. Marriage is what it is. And it seems like they've met the perfect guys. Oh no, my husband is great. I would die without him. See, the thing of it is they're seeing everybody else having fun. Not that their situation is bad, but you're seeing everybody else out there having fun and you're like, damn, I wish I could have some of that. And that's the biggest part with women. That FOMO shit, that fear of missing out, that's what gets women every fucking time, man. Every time. And the social media is full of FOMO. It makes everybody feel like, now I'm missing out. Which fucks up your situation. You got a good one. That's my opinion on it.
Boy best friend.
But you have a girl best friend.
But my girl best friend has a boyfriend.
Is it alright if you call your boy best friend and ask him to Netflix and chill and see what happens?
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, it's not surprised.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I was wondering, do you maybe want to Netflix and chill?
I'm at work right now, but for you, I can make some time.
Oh, really?
You're done with that waste man of a boyfriend, you?
Got him!
I'm gonna call you later.
I told you from the start that he was trying to make a movie here.
So why did you start dating me when you never trusted me?
It's not about that. It's about the fact that I don't trust your boy best friend.
How many times y'all gonna do this? 99% of men can't pass that test. I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. Yeah, he might be your friend, but that don't mean he don't want to do you. How do y'all stay friends now? Because now he's already made his intentions clear. Like, you failed the test. So where we go from here? Because if you're gonna continue to have this dude in your life, then guess what? We can't continue to be. There's no way. There's no way. I think it's open and shut. Next clip.
The age of enlightenment has now become the age of entitlement. How's it got like this?
Yeah, I'm not sure it entirely has, though, Piers. I think we make progress because one generation challenges the one ahead of them. That's how it is. Now, they don't always get it right, But I'm with those girls in that school. They challenged the teacher. She lost the classroom. They wanted the teacher to address them in.
They're at a girls' school, Kevin.
But one of them wasn't identified.
Literally, their parents have said, we want to send our little girl to a girls' school, which is called a girls' school.
Yeah.
And then when a teacher has the audacity to call them girls, they go nuts. And the teacher then eventually has to leave.
Piers, they challenged the teacher. The teacher stands on her authority and says, no, I'm doing it my way. If that teacher had spoken to them, had a dialogue, understood it, look, one of them wasn't identifying as a girl. I just don't see what the big problem is. I genuinely do not see what the problem is.
If you don't, here's what the problem is. If you don't identify as a girl, don't go to a bloody girls' school.
Exactly.
Esther, have I got nuts?
Well, what if one of them identified as a tree? Would you say hello, I don't know, flora and fauna?
Well, before I went away, I identified
I went to a girls' school.
I identified as a black lesbian, as you know, Esther, and your cackle went around the world.
Don't set her off again.
But this is the problem. If anyone can identify as anything they like, then this insanity just goes everywhere.
So a teacher in the UK says, "Good afternoon, girls," and he gets fired for it. That to me makes no sense. Like, how the fuck are we supposed to know the rules to this shit? Like, how do I know today you want to be a tree, or tomorrow you want to be a car or a fire hydrant? Like, how do we know this shit? Like, this is the craziest shit in the fucking world. And I believe in everybody being who they want to be, but damn, it couldn't have just been he got it wrong. He had to get fired for that shit. Like, yo, you got to lose your job. This cancel culture, that shit's something serious, bro. That shit is something serious. You lost your whole career. Your whole career, not some, not most, not a little bit of your shit. You lost your whole career because you address girls as girls. And that's crazy as hell. Y'all gotta at least be fair about this shit. Like, come on now. This right here, this on another level, man. Another level. Next level.
What are your thoughts on people who are able to stay together after one of the partners cheats?
There could be two ways of thinking about it. Either one, the spouse has low self-esteem. They don't think they'll ever find someone else again. So then they're okay with sticking in that situation, even though there's abuse to them. Or they can see outside of it as a mistake and they give them grace. And they're willing to overcome that because their love is stronger than whatever it was committed. There's levels to this one. But I want to be very clear that we ain't that level. All right, there's no levels on that level, because if you can put your mind to be able to commit that and then mind first and then act on it and then come back to me, it's not going to work.
All right, for this one, I gotta say that if you have any insecurities, there's no way in the world you'll be able to get past that. There's no way. There's no way. Every time that she goes out and you don't know where she's at, you're gonna automatically be thinking that shit is gonna be racing through your mind, man. And I get it. You know, everybody makes mistakes, but I just feel like that's one of those ones that you don't want to do. That's going to be one of those ones going to make you end up losing your relationship. Like, some mistakes are not excusable. And if you stay in that, there's no way that y'all can, I put like this. I know I couldn't. I'm not going to tell you what you could or what you couldn't do. But for some people, that shit was always going to be in the back of their mind. And how do you move forward? Do you get your lick back? Or do you just give them grace to the point where, you know what, I'm not even going to do nothing. I'm not even going to do nothing back. I'm going to go ahead and play my role. But then the other person, how do you feel? Does that guilt eat your ass up because this person's not doing nothing and you're expecting a get back? I know he going to get me back. You think he Look, to each his own, but me personally, there's no way in the world I could do it. There's no way. So, it is what it is. And guess what? Next clip.
You nigga ain't got no hoe. Oh, your girl at home? Why you want to bring us to the show? She gotta work later. Nigga, how later? It's gonna be 9 p.m. What she do? Call her right now on FaceTime. She might be getting dick. It's all shit. That nigga calling her back. Texting, what the fuck you answer the phone for? I just had a big moment at the fucking show and you didn't pick up. Bitch, what the fuck you doing? She called it back. Yo. Yo, come on. Yeah. Why she calling you regular? You just FaceTime. She gonna Everybody wet, baby. I was asleep. Let's see. Okay. Where you at, girl? She like she at the store, twin. That don't look like work. Hold on, we finna talk. Do she look like she at work, y'all? You gotta work tonight?
No, I'm off.
Goof, I had to get over.
All right, the first thing I'm gonna say is like, yo, don't let nobody put you under pressure for some shit like that. Like those people that be out there, like when you see them outside on the corner and they doing that interview, oh, y'all trust each other, trade phones. I've been seeing so many relationships get ended because of that shit. If your shit ain't solid, don't let nobody pressure you into doing some shit that you ain't ready to do or you don't want to do. You understand what I'm saying? Like you have a right to tell a motherfucker, nah, nigga, go find somebody else to joke on. I ain't that nigga. You know what I mean? But if you sit up front, you fair game. Please understand that. Hey, he young, man. He got time to get it together, man. Leave that man alone.
I don't know if I'm the first person on the internet, whatever. It's probably people are saying this, but this needs to be said. We have to separate black culture from hood culture. They are not the same thing. When somebody's sagging their pants and talking in an ignorant way, I don't say that that's black culture. That's hood culture. That is not being black.
This one here is I agree totally with that, because I feel like just because somebody is black, that doesn't mean that that's black culture. You understand what I'm saying? It is a lot of things that are in black culture that are also hood culture, but you gotta separate the two because everything has a subdivision. Just like you have English and slang is a subdivision of that. It's the same thing. Black culture and hood culture is a subdivision of black culture, period. That's just what it is. That's my personal opinion. Now, if you have a different opinion, please put it in the comments because I would like to be enlightened on this particular subject. Anyway, next clip.
You want women who look like us, but you really don't want women who look like us because you cheat on us with those wildebeest.
You just called me ugly.
He just gave her, but he gave you the relationship because he don't hold access. He don't hold the key to sex. You hold the key to sex, but he holds the key to a relationship, which he granted you with. He only granted her with 5 minutes in heaven. So be happy. You got the relationship.
I view it as that's your type.
Hell no!
And I'm not your type. So
yeah, that sounds personable.
Yes, it is personable.
A little personal. The simplest answer is that's the only option he had was the wildebeest. I'm sure if he had a little princess, a little dime piece, he would have took that little dime piece down too, but that wasn't an option for him. So you putting too much thought into it. Like, so yeah, you was in a relationship with the dude at one point, and then he starts cheating on you with the wildebeest. He don't like the wildebeest. Like I said, a man can have sex with someone and not like that woman, and he could still love his girl. Y'all aren't capable of that, so it's hard for you to fathom it.
All right, so now some would say, okay, well, if you love her, then you wouldn't do that. Okay, what love is to him, that's what he's feeling. He still feels like he loved his girl. Just because he hit this wildebeest or this buffarillo, it don't mean that he don't love his girl. He still love his girl. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is just a jump off. I'm just trying to get these off. It's the same as that first clip we played. It ain't nothing behind it. I promise you, he would not leave you for her. It ain't shit she could do for him. He probably don't even know her name. That was what it was, and that's it. Like, it ain't gonna be no return type shit. Like, you know what I mean? He was just thirsty at the time. You know what I mean? The nigga, he ain't had none in a minute. Or you was playing games with the shit. So that's all it is. Like, if you worried about that, you worried about nothing, because he's not gonna leave you for something that look like that over his girl. That's just what it is. And a lot of dudes be like, yo, why you cheat with something that look worse than your girl just in case you get caught? We not thinking like that. We thinking with the little head at that time. We not thinking the shit that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, next clip.
You're in a relationship and your homegirl's not in a relationship. Is it okay for your man to make sure your homegirl is good? Like walking her to the car?
Whoa. And I'm not asking this to be inflammatory. A very serious discussion that I think we don't fully have is protection for women. Yeah. And what that protection looks like outside of just the willingness to inflict violence. And so when we talk about your man being able to make sure your homegirl is good, it's like the qualities that you saw in him. Are you attempting to now bottle those? Do you not expect him to stand on his square when it comes to, because if that's your people, right? And most upstanding men I know support community on their shoulders. So it's like, I'm not saying he gotta buy all y'all drinks every time you go to the club, but it's like, I personally would like to be a man in a relationship where even if my lady people got a problem, she think to call me for it. You feel me? I'm not saying that I'm going over her homegirl house when her homegirl by herself and my girl don't know. That's not what I'm saying, but like walking her to the car? Like that shouldn't even really be a question. I low-key don't care if like you a stranger. If I'm in proximity, like, and it's within, and she comfortable with me walking her to the car, I'm gonna do it because that's just how I was brought up. You feel me?
All right, so it's different strokes for different folks. That might work for some people, you know what I mean? But you know, in a perfect world, that shit could be awesome. But this is the thing. You don't start nothing, won't be nothing. And my thing is, the way I've stayed 100% faithful to my wife is the fact that I don't put myself in positions where I gotta fight with temptation. And you can say whatever the fuck you want to say on that one, because the bottom line is I know my limits. You gotta know yours, I know mine. And in order for me to not do shit like that, not in order to not do it, but the thing of it is I don't want to have a battle with temptation. That's just what the fuck it is. So I don't put myself in positions like that. Now me and my wife and her friend can all walk to the car together, but to have me be alone with a woman, I try not to do that. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't want no bullshit from me being tempted with sexual urges or me even being accused of some bullshit. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna put myself in that predicament to be alone with a woman, because it can be different types of bullshit that can happen to you. So me personally, nah. If what you have in that relationship that you have is worth it, then don't put yourself in a position where you have to fight with temptation. Fuck everybody else. Temptation a bad motherfucker. I'm trying to tell you. Don't play with temptation, cuz it's a lot of people that be like, yo, I know I ain't gonna do this, I know I ain't gonna do that, and then you in that situation, you like, God damn. So why even put yourself in that predicament when you can just take an ounce of prevention? It's worth a pound of cure. You ain't even gotta worry about it. If I just do this little bit up front, I ain't gotta worry about the problems that it could have. You see what I'm saying? So that's just my point of view on it. You might disagree with it, but I'm doing what works for me. I've been successful in mine, so I'm just trying to tell you what it is from somebody who already walked the path. You understand what I'm saying? Next clip.
Some conversations we as couples never have. We have to be able to have conversations about expectations. We have to be on the same page. If he says that intimacy needs to happen 5 times a week, and I'm sitting over here saying, oh, twice is great, then we are not in agreement.
We are not the same.
Because, and a part of that is we sometimes come into things with these not unrealistic expectations, but it's just expectations that we hadn't talked about. We didn't talk about it. So I have an expectation and you have one. And when you expect something from me, you will get frustrated when I don't meet that expectation. But I didn't know about the expectation.
Come on, girl.
I didn't know that you expected 5. I expected 2. My needs was met. But you were sitting over here with needs unmet. And you flip that on the other side. It's the same way, ladies. It's important that we know what to ask for from our spouse. Because he can't give it if you're not going to say it.
But it's the truth. It's some good stuff, girl.
He can't. He didn't know that I didn't like flowers. You never, ever, ever in life have to bring me flowers. But if he bring me Skittles, now he's speaking my love language. Because that's what I like. But he would not have known that had I not communicated that I don't like flowers. So he thought he was doing something great by bringing me flowers. Well, I don't like them. I don't like them. But that comes through communication. That comes through us sitting down and talking about and being mature, married people, because we grown and we have to have grown people conversations and we have to talk about what grown people talk about. And grown people talk about needs. Grown people communicate what they need. And so you say that, hey, what is it that, and so me even being able to ask you that, do you think that I'm submissive? Most of us don't want to know the answer to that. If you honestly ask your spouse, you don't really want to know the answer. So you sometimes, and it's so true, we have trained our spouses what to ask and what not to ask us. Because if you ask me certain things and I always get an attitude, I'm teaching you, don't ask me that no more.
Goodness.
Don't ask me that anymore. But we have to, and so here's the thing, sister friend. This is when I say, me and y'all leave the room, sister friends. We have to get before Jesus, and we have to really own up, and we have to really see, we got to, hey, God, I need to be healed. I need to be healed because I'm so broken that can't nobody say nothing to me.
So she hit on two things. One of them that I picked up from this is common sense ain't common. So what you may think is common sense, be like, damn, it's common sense. Why you ain't? No, you can't do that. You gotta let that person know. They can't read your mind. You gotta let them know, like, this is what I expect. Like, just understand somebody can't read your mind. You gotta know your partner's love language. Like, for instance, she said, she hit on something when she said they're buying the flowers. My wife don't like flowers either, and as crazy as it sounds, like, damn, to hear somebody else say, another woman, it's like, that's crazy. But the thing of it is if you bringing her flowers and you thinking that you did a good ass job, you like, yeah, nigga, I just bought my wife some flowers, this, and you feeling good. You feeling like, yo, I put a check on the good side. But she don't count that as a check. You like, well, hold on. Fuck, I bought you some flowers. How that don't count? I don't like flowers. Bottom line, man, is just make sure that you communicate what you expect from your partner. You understand what I'm saying? And know their love language. Know what they like. Don't be doing some shit and that's not even what they like, because you're not going to get credit. You're going to want the credit like you did something right. But if they don't even like it, how do you get credit for it? You got that communication with your spouse is so important. Next clip.
A woman's value that she adds to a man is something that you cannot even put a price on, baby. It is something that you cannot even look at the amount, because guess what? What we're doing is we're elevating you and we're growing you in a way that you could not even imagine. Why do you think that all the politicians are married? I built every single man up that I've ever been with, baby.
All right.
When they leave me, they're in a much better position than when they got with me, and that's a fact.
The very last man you was with, how long was that relationship?
3.5 years.
When you met him, was he a millionaire?
No.
When you left him, was he a millionaire?
No.
You ain't made nobody nothing. A lot of these women talk about what they could do for a man and how good they are. Y'all ain't made nobody nothing. A lot of y'all have an overinflated ego. You're not bringing nothing to the table but problems, attitude, and tarnished and zesty coochie.
I don't know.
So check your attitude. No, check your attitude, because y'all are not all that.
A lot of high value men say that a woman, the right woman, can take you to levels that you never thought that you could get to. And to be my personal opinion, when you get with a woman that just does it for you, she makes you want to do better. Like, she makes you want to be even better than what the fuck you thought you could be. Like, you don't even have that lazy, because you know you want to goddamn get out there and you want to do your thing. You want to perform. A lot of women try to act like just because you're a woman that's what you bring to the table. No, but at the end of the day, you get the right woman, the right support system, they could push you to levels that you never thought was possible. Just because you're a woman, you can't claim that. See, it's a lot of women out here trying to claim that. Yeah, women do have that power, but most of y'all, her period, you ain't got that power. Because if you met a man and he wasn't a millionaire and you saying you did all of that, by the time you left him, he should have been better than what he was when you found him. That's my take on it. See y'all next time.